Well, we all think of our grandma's African violets, and we're here with Kristie out in her Northeast Portland home, and oh my goodness, what a collection you have. This is way beyond what I've ever thought of for an African violet. So tell me a little bit about your collection.
Well, I've been collecting since 2010, and it started with that one violet, and it just kept blooming, and I'm like, wow, I can actually grow something. And then it turned into, oh, now I want a purple one, and oh wow, they have different sizes of African violets.
And I had no idea that there was this many colors and bloom types and leaf colors. I mean, how many different varieties do you have in
There's
here?
a huge variety in here. I prefer the semi-miniatures here because you can actually have more of them on your shelf. Here's an example of micro mini. My friend Wes Carter, he hybridized this. He's from Portland, Oregon, and this is one of his varieties. It's called Wesley's Pixie Dust.
And so you see all the different foliage colors, all the bloom types, all the different things. What kind of care do you need to grow these? I notice you have a lot of these sitting in mason jars with little strings coming out the bottom. So how?
Oh, this is just the easiest way to keep them watered, because the easiest way to kill an African violet is to overwater it. And so I found that the best mix that works for me is black gold African violet soil, and I just cut it 50-50 with some perlite, and I just took some mason twine and I just strung it up through the bottom of these Anderson 2.5-inch pots, and this is just a standard mouth mason jar, and it just kind of sets right in there.
And so that acts like a wick, then it sucks the water up through the strings into the soil.
And then I don't need to worry about overwatering.
And if you're overwatering them, and is that, for people that are watering at home, do you want to necessarily, is overwatering bad, or do you want to try to keep it off? Or?
You want to keep the bottom of the pot out of the water, because the easiest way to kill a plant is overwatering, and how that happens is the roots rot.
And a lot of people talk about overhead watering and how that's bad for an African violet. Is that true?
Yeah, if the water's too cold, it can leave brown spots on the leaves. Overhead watering, or just washing the leaves under the sink with lukewarm water or room temperature water, won't leave spots, but cold water will.
And then do you need to add fertilizer in with the water, or are you doing liquid fertilizer through the top, or how do you?
It's a dilute fertilizer. It's about 50% of whatever the manufacturer recommends for the dose.
Okay.
So it's, well, if you're just straight up watering your plant, they call it weekly, meaning half strength, weekly, every week. Or this is like quarter strength in this, because it's a continuous wicking mechanism here that waters the plant. But if your plant is being overwatered, the first symptom is these leaves are going to get really wilty, and you'll think, oh, I need to put more water on it, but that's not the case.
Actually opposite of that.
Yeah, it's root rot. It's just that the roots are dead and can't bring the water up to the top, and so at first you don't realize what's wrong. But
and then is there different pests or disease you need to worry about on African violets?
I would say powdery mildew could be a big one here in the Pacific Northwest. We have a lot of mold in the area. There's some garden fungicides you could spray on it, but I don't have any fungicides on any of mine, and the way I've combated it is just air movement, fans, and just keep the air circulating around the plants, and then you don't end up with any of that problem.
Well, so we have this amazing collection that you just can't find anywhere else, but you do have some sales that are coming up. So where can people go if they're interested in some of these plants?
We sure do. At Division Street Portland Nursery, we're going to be having a sale. It's at 10 a.m. till 3 p.m.
And that's this weekend?
This weekend.
Right.
And then later on at the end of April, we'll be having another sale at Mount Tabor Methodist Church, and we'll have information about that sale at the Portland Nursery as well.
Okay. And so if you're looking for unusual plants that you can't find anywhere else, you can go out to Portland Nursery this weekend, or you can check gardentime.tv for other events that are coming up, and links to websites about where you can find your amazing plants. So we appreciate you opening up your home, and it's been a pleasure to see all these amazing varieties. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.